talk about it after.
Good evening, everybody. Today is August 25th of 2021. The time is 5:16 p.m. This is the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call. I, Brian Chalik, are here. T.J. McDermott's here. Betsy Cablin's here. I do not see Damon Gasaway or Jenna Francisconi. So we do have a quorum with the three of us.
Correct. Correct.
Public comment. Do we have any public comment? We're going to open public comment as we speak. It's 5:17 p.m. I don't see anybody here to make a public comment, so we're going to close it at 5:17 p.m. Minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yep.
Any additions or subtractions, comments, questions?
No, I'd like to make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 3-0. Claims. Another short claim docket. Everybody had a chance to look at that. Any questions or additions, subtractions?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
I'll make a motion to approve the 8/25/2021 claim docket.
Motion, do I have a second?
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, claims are passed, 3-0. David, is Nick on his way?
Should be coming.
Okay, just asked. Old business. A, approval of the Sixth Amendment to the Kensington Purchase Agreement. I believe I'm going to give that to you.
Yes, sir. I will present this. This is in your packet and is a proposed amendment to the purchase agreement to Kensington on the corner parcel. The basis of the amendment is simply to extend the approval deadline for the purchaser and extends it out to September 24th, but really what this is relates to the IDEM approval and the letter that we've been waiting on for quite a while that we now have. So this, I would suggest to you, is just a formality because otherwise certain deadlines within the existing contract have expired and we've all kind of agreed without signing this yet to extend that pending receipt of that letter, which has now been received. So I would suggest that this be approved and then we can move forward because we're ready to get this thing closed.
Great.
Happy to answer any questions if there is any, but it's pretty straightforward on this one.
Oh, we're basically moving the date till the 24th?
Yes, sir. Correct.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the Sixth Amendment to Kensington Purchase Agreement.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 3-0. 2022 RDC budget discussion.
So I had included in your packets a new updated budget based on the discussions with the clerk treasurer. You'll see that the numbers from the previous one that you were sent in your email is $250,000 less, which is to accommodate for debt service payments. So if there's any questions, I sent a list of projects out to you. We both can have a discussion on that. But we'd be looking for a motion to approve the 2022 budget for the RDC.
And the only difference of the new stuff is we subtracted how much?
250,000
250, and what was that for?
is for debt service payments, obligations.
Questions?
And that'll be taken out of TIF 1 for land and TIF 4 from infrastructure.
That's correct.
Any other questions?
Do you want to
I thought the debt service was separate from that on the budgets.
have their motion?
David?
I think
You're getting the answer right now.
Yeah, because the debt service is
If they're able
a separate line item.
So debt service is included, not shown on this sheet,
Right.
shown on the one that Courtney provided. She needs to check with Baker Tilly because their numbers for debt service are about $250,000 different than her numbers.
Okay.
So that's why she needed to pull that out. So I would
So she
recommend
pulled
your motion be pending her verification with Baker Tilly, because those numbers can go back into those line items as long as Baker Tilly and her can kind of rectify that difference of the $250,000
So she's
for
pulling
debt
it out of
service.
land and infrastructure, not out of debt services.
It's moving into debts. Well,
Moving, yeah.
the estimate is, the estimate that Baker Tilly provided us and the numbers that Courtney has for debt service for 2022, there's about a $250,000 difference between the two. So when we looked at budget, we looked at the basically $2.3 million for budgeting purposes, but we should have been looking at, 250,000 less than that. Because we were going off of Baker Tilly's numbers and Clerk Treasurer's numbers, and their numbers had that difference. Ideally, Baker Tilly was correct, and then we can add that 250 back in, but we want to make sure that there's coverage there. Does that answer?
I understand the concept in general.
Okay.
But it's interesting that she took it out of land and infrastructure and not out of debt services.
Well, it's because debt service is more than that, more than we had estimated. So when we gave her this to plug in the numbers, I had identified TIF 1 land and TIF 4 infrastructure as two items where there might be a little more flexibility, especially because TIF 1 has quite a bit in infrastructure, and you can shift between those two. And then TIF 4, since TIF 4 brings in less revenue, putting a big number out there was somewhat questionable anyway, because we'd be spending more in TIF 4, which is allowed, but our budget would be more in TIF 4 than we were necessarily bringing in TIF 4. So those two numbers seemed like ones that could be adjusted if she needed to, and then she did end up needing to make that adjustment. Again, ideally what happens is when Baker Tilly and Clerk Treasurer rectify their numbers, the 250 goes away, and we can keep it just like this, but
Okay.
otherwise.
Let us know next month,
yeah.
next meeting?
So, and do they have what she provided,
Yeah,
Form 1?
the Form 1?
Form 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that in Form 1?
Yeah. So in the Form 1, these debt service payments, when you add all of them up, they're actually more, they'll be about 250,000 more than Baker Tilly's debt service estimate. So that's why we have to pull from other line items to cover it.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
In other words, the debt service was lower than what we needed to have, I think, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Baker Tilly estimated
Fair enough.
lower, yeah, Baker Tilly estimated lower debt service than Courtney's showing as what we actually owe towards that. So there's a discrepancy somewhere. And that's why I asked you if you want to make the motion to approve, it can be pending that review and
Does this need to be signed in a timely manner, or this, what, Form 1, I think she said
Yeah,
that
they're
earlier.
looking to send it to city council.
So, yeah,
City council's in
It's in the September
Seven.
7th.
about 2 weeks, so.
so if she finds that out and lets us know, I can come and sign it whenever. You know what I mean? That's all right with you guys. She's gotta let us know whether it's, what.
It would
Yeah.
be nice for it to go to city council correct,
Yeah.
whichever
Yes.
one is correct.
Whichever one is correct.
And we can send any changes or amendments that Courtney has based on, actual, that, getting the numbers right. We can send that out via email and make sure that you all are comfortable with it. So even if you want to approve now, we can make sure that there's communication to make sure when it gets to the council, it's what you guys would like to see.
Okay, is that kosher by everybody? As long as we know. So now you need to amend the motion, I
Yeah,
believe.
I think so.
So I'll make a motion to amend the 2022.
Approve it, subject to.
Subject to amendment.
Subject to approval. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the 2022 RDC budget pending approval
Yeah, by the clerk.
by the clerk.
Yeah.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 3-0 pending clerk treasurer's numbers, correct? Coincide. Item C, Don George Ford property public offering update. David?
Just giving an update that we advertised bids for a deadline of September 7th, or bid collections for September 7th at 4 PM. And then those are going to be read at the next Board of Works meeting, which is on Wednesday,
The eighth.
September 8th at 9 AM.
Do we have any others yet? None?
No, I wouldn't know. They go to the clerk treasurer. They're accepted in the clerk treasurer's office. So I haven't received any updates on that.
New business, do we have any new business? Any old business? Anything, Nick?
Not anything you want to know.
Nothing that I want to know?
No, I mean, anything you want to know, but, I mean, Flaherty and Collins project, the Banks is going along very well. Seen
Okay, I've
a
got
lot of
something.
good progress. Yes.
I want to know who's involved. I think I found out. The city of LaPorte owns this piece of land. It's got all the trees growing up by Clear Lake.
The Redevelopment Commission owns 2 parcels on the north side of Furnace Street along Clear Lake Boulevard. Is that,
I made a tour yesterday and went through there, and if I was living in Flaherty and Collins, you wouldn't be able to see the lake unless you're on the 4th floor.
oh, okay, the property between Whole Locker and the Banks. Yes, Redevelopment Commission owns that
We
property.
need to have those taken down somehow.
Yes.
They are, I'm serious, go ahead, DJ, tell them. You went over there.
I drove by there today too, and you can even really
Can't
see the building from the other side, from the lake
Those
side.
have to come down somehow.
Yes.
That's that whole strip of land in there.
Yeah, so with the Healthcare Foundation grant, part of our project is naturalizing Clear Lake shoreline. Whole Locker, trail connections, kind of that area
That's why it hasn't been
is part of the development of that project. So,
That's why it hasn't been
yeah,
done.
so it hasn't been forgotten, we just haven't gotten to it.
As long as we're not leaving it laying
No.
there, because that's kind of pathetic.
No, there's a lot of issues there. A lot of the trees that are there are very low quality. There's maybe 1 or 2 good quality trees, but invasive species in a lot of cases, and just not ideal and not what we're looking for around that pond. So so future projects will address the trees and
Clean it
woods.
up.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you won't get anybody renting the bottom floor, first floor. Can't see, I mean, you're gonna look at the lake,
Yeah.
you're gonna look at a bunch of scrub trees.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's definitely part of kind of future projects in that area.
Anything else?
For me.
Anybody? Bert, you good?
Yeah, just one thing quickly. The redevelopment commission is interested tomorrow at 11:30 to 1. The county is presenting their housing study. It's at the Healthcare Foundation.
Would love to have anyone who would like to participate. If not, we'll get you the study when it's officially released.
Where is it?
The Healthcare Foundation.
It's at the healthcare foundation.
Yeah, 11:30 to 1.
And you did get a thing for the north-south corridor from us?
I did, yeah, I appreciate it. I know a lot of people are planning to attend, appreciate that, so
Okay.
we've got you all RSVP'd. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
No Damon, so I guess you're gonna get the honors.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
I got a motion and a second. Further discussion, there will be none. All in favor, state by saying aye.
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 And there is no no-no. No no here. Vote here.
Right.
We are adjourned. Thank you.